Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Peggy from the Pearl Forest, and today I thought I would share with you some things I found at a thrift store. These did have a wider white edge, but I have trimmed it off. I got a large package of them, and there was a package with 3 kinds of apples. There was a package with 3 kinds of leaves. Now I don't remember which one of these because there's another leaf. Then there was, that's the same. Then there was a package that had 3 pumpkins. And then there was a package that had a squash, some corn, and another leaf. And they were all in one big package. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 packages, 12 of each of these in them. So that's 36 times 4 of these that I have. Now I thought they would make nice journal cards and that they would also make nice pocket or tucks. And so I thought we would look at them some. I'll show you what they look like as they came, other than the fact I've trimmed the white line. So these are the apples. And here's the other apple. Here's the pumpkin and squash. Oops. And what I like about them especially is, I feel like my light is very good, but they look junk journal-y. Like they have like little beads. This is a little, I don't know if you can see, come on, focus. It's a, well, you might have to do your own zooming because my light isn't good, I'm seeing. It has a punched leaf out of a piece of paper. It's got like, these are all just printed, so they're just flat, but it looks like strings, looks like little washers and other little things. This one has, they almost look like Cheerios or some kind of flat beads. Here you can see some text showing through, sort of like embroidery. There's a button on the end. This marking on a piece. Here's some added stuff. Here's some burlap. Like I said, they're just cardstock. But the pieces, like here's some washers, they look like they're made out of junk journal, collaged. There's some rings on top of some printed fabric. I think this has a little button on the end there. The leaves, this one has some corrugation, some other little pieces that are like on top, plus the different patterned papers or fabrics or whatever it is they represent. This looks like a rubber band, kind of a washer. You get the idea. Some strings. They look very much like junk journal. Here's the corn, and it looks like layers with some additional beads and buttons. This one has buttons and like a little embroidery, and this is even a piece of measuring tape and some more like beads and things. So anyway, they appealed to me because I thought they went really nicely with the concept of a junk journal. So I have some things I've made. I don't know whether to show you them now or to make some other things. Maybe for having a shorter video, I might just show you all of them and then maybe just make one thing. So here's an apple that I've added a little collage of 3 pieces on. Another one of the apples but I've added part of a digital and a fussy cut. The other ones, these are all digital fussy cuts, although I've added some extra, like this one was very white. I've added distress from the antique photo, vintage photo on all of these pieces. Here's one, I used some of the Tim Holtz People. I have these little girls standing on like a branch of a tree from the leaf. These girls, Tim Holtz girls, are sitting on one of the bars, and some miscellaneous fussy cuts. Here's a guy and his dog standing on the bottom of this pumpkin. This boy's climbed up in the tree, and he's just leaning up there on the ridges. This, I put some washi tape on the bottom, has some fall leaves, and these ladies are standing on that in this apple. Here's a ear of corn with a boy standing down there at the bottom and leaning. And I can add more labels later if I want. This is a collage of a variety of things down at the bottom of this leaf. Here's a collage of a variety of things, washi tape, stamped, magazine, I'm not sure how I punched that out, but some book page, some other magazine added to this pumpkin. You can see you can do most anything. Here's some book paper, some magazine, and a fussy cut. This time it's a fox sitting on the leaf. Here's a collage with a cluster and a stamped and book page and magazine. Once again on the apple. Here's a cluster added with fussy cuts, washi tape, magazine, Japanese book page, and a circle punched out of scrapbook paper. I think this is washi tape there. Here's the ear of corn, and on the bottom I've collaged some washi tape, some punched leaves out of various things, the Japanese print, I think some washi tape, and this fussy cut of a bird, which is from Bella, Rach and Bella Crafts. Here's another pumpkin, and it has some digital, some coffee dyed paper, some magazine collaged on the pumpkin. Here's a leaf with some book page, some Japanese book page, and a torn part of a digital. I think it came off of an envelope to make, but I just tore the center of it off. That's also Rach and Bella. I think most of these that I was using today are that, except for these labels I think are different, and this is different, so I guess they're not all. This is from a digital, washi tape, digital, and some book page on this apple. This apple has a cluster I previously made, plus some washi tape, book page, washi tape, and a digital image that I've distressed. That's all on the apple. Here's a leaf with a little book page on each side and a fussy cut digital added to the leaf. Here's two digital fussy cuts from two different places. This is a little cluster that we could use on one of them if we wanted, or somewhere else, a pocket. I just had made those at the same time, not that they relate, but here's a pumpkin with some washi tape on the bottom and these Tim Holtz ladies standing there. I don't know if on this one now you can see the punched leaf paper. kind of like they're out in a pumpkin patch being photographed. This I've added some painted paper, some washi tape, Tim Holtz person, and a punched out of a photograph bunny. Here I've made some painted paper cut like grass, and it's one of Tim Holtz' girls and a dog from Tim Holtz on that pumpkin. Okay, another use for these is I've glued them on to, let me find a tag. If I can reach something. Well, here's something small, but it can work. So I've glued this on a signature page, which is coffee dyed paper. And you can then, you know, put tags in here. They can go down this far or stick up. So that's the corn on this page and an apple on this one. So they can be in fall or a harvest, gardening, whatever. And on this one, I've done the tall pumpkin, and it's a pocket again. Lots of room to put something in. And here's a pumpkin on this one. Lots of room. This is a signature page, so you'd sew it in, and this would be in some part of the book, and that would be somewhere else. Which we might see these soon because I'm making a fall book. And here is a leaf pocket. It's quite deep on this part and shorter over on this side, but you can also angle them. And I glued this down good so it wouldn't be quite as fragile. This is another leaf on the other page. And once again, it's a signature page with the leaves on two different pages, the leaves. So that's what I've made so far. Why don't we take a moment and make something ourselves? At least one. We can take this leaf here that's sitting here. We could just put like a cluster on here. We could even put something down underneath to make it a bigger, deeper pocket. We could even do this with two clusters and then add the leaf over the top. Or we can turn the leaf sideways. That doesn't quite connect as well. So I'm not sure on those. I have this piece of washi tape, which I thought would look nice with this too. We could do something where we square up the bottom. Let's see, I have some cardstock pieces over here. What if we make a pocket? This is from 1990, or at least it was labeling things that were from 1990. I've been reorganizing my room and trying to gather stuff. I tried videoing here today differently, but I tried to have things handy. I'm working out how that works for me. Okay, we want to go past this, but we also need to make sure we'll fit on a page. See, instead of my ruler, I'll just get this. Oops. So if this is a page, you can even just use this, which I think is a double tag. It doesn't matter if this shows or if it's perfectly straight, because that's the size of the page. So we're not going to go any further than that, not even that far. So we'll have to turn this to make sure that we creep in a little bit. So maybe like that. So maybe we'll go here. And if we come up about here for a pocket, this is actually a quilting ruler, but I thought it might come in handy because you can line up on the lines. See, let's just do this. This is 2 3/4 by 5. Whoops, hold still. 2 3/4 by 5. So that can be our pocket. Oops, put this back. And we're still functioning and in shot. Okay, this will give it some structure to make a nice pocket, but it'll stick up taller than this because the leaf will be in front of it. Okay, so we have that. And let's see, what would we like to cover it with? I do have some scraps of digital, but I think we'll just go with this. I believe, I don't know, this might be Tim Holtz, but I'm not positive. When they kind of get off everywhere, it's hard to keep track of them. Okay, so I'm gonna put glue on here. I just thought of something we could also do is make a belly band with the leaf in such a way that the leaf isn't so fragile. Okay, I'm gonna put this in this corner. That. All right, and I want to tell you during this video is I apologize for having a long time period where there weren't any videos. I was making a bunch of journals for a sale, and I was just trying to reevaluate my process and directions that I was going with my journaling and organizing some things up. So I ended up taking more time than I thought. I spent a lot of time in my head trying to work things out while doing things like fussy cutting and stuff like that. And then I did a little videos, and then we lost our power, and that was gone for 5 days. And during that time, I did not have internet, and it was limited electricity because I have a generator, so I have a little bit, but limited. So let's see, I want to figure out where I'm going to put glue. Use this as a little trick. That should work. Anyway, I did a lot of thought. I did do one video during that time, but I tried to upload it after our power came on, and I think my file was corrupted. I'm going to still try again because sometimes it's like a fluky thing that happens, but I may have just lost that one. So I am getting back on it today, and I'm hoping to be more regular in the future once again, and trying to get my art space cleaned up so I'm not around the house. And then I can use things up and organize them because we just have too much around, and that's not fair to my family, and it's not as pleasant even for me. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. So this looks a little funny to me, like it needs something there. What, I'm not sure. Let's see. I have several things that I've made. I don't know if I can just, this is some cardstock that I've painted. I don't know that I want it to come right up to that. Unfortunately, it's not quite big enough to get all the way over there. I do like something in there. I don't like that. Let's see if we had this again, but we went over. So it's over, down some. Maybe like that. And then maybe a little piece over here. So it kind of relates to the pocket, but doesn't make the leaf look quite so, I don't know, it's like the sharp angles or something of it. I think I like that better, and I think though I might add some kind of label or something later, but I might wait until I'm doing the actual journal, because then I might have something that goes there. So let's see, we'll put this down a bit like that. And then a little bit on, whoops, on this side. And put this in there. And I think just to not show that line as much, that I would put some kind of label or word later. But so then here's a pocket. And let's try the belly band idea. So if we had a little less than that length, get the ruler back out. And the pencil somewhere. Where did the pencil go? I've got two carts next to me, but I still have a lot of other stuff on the floor that I need to move. So let's see, if we took that much off, that would sit on the page. Oh, that's actually just the size of the page. So let's take that much more off. So it's just a little. I like my belly bands to not go absolutely up to the top and bottom of the page, but just a hair under. Whoops. Come on. So maybe that much. Put this back. Well, let's make it a certain width. Hmm. Well, let's leave it that width and then trim it depending on how much room the leaf takes up. Does that sound like a plan? So this would have, you know, a tag under it if it was on a page. So we're going to cut down to this line and up here. So this is a wide belly band, but I think that might be what we would want if we're going to be sticking something on it. That there. And why don't we try one of the pumpkins. This tall one is nice. Let's see, do I have the tall pumpkin here? Yeah, there. Then it doesn't stick out quite as much. Is that too wide for a belly band? No, you'd still see your card out there. So I think we'll stick with the gray in this size, but we're going to cover it up. And what do we want to cover it with? Well, I have some napkin. We could try that. That we would want some glue stick. And you can see I need to pull these where I can reach better. Okay, here's a glue mat. Oops, I got my lid. So you don't have to have a huge amount of space though. I just have the TV tray I'm using at the moment. I have no idea where my lid went though. Okay. Thankfully I have some glue sticks that are dried out that I still have. I can take their lid. You can actually get some glue out of the bottom, and if you want to dig at them and get it out, which I might, I don't know. So we'll stick this on, pull it tight, whoops, no wrinklies. Okay, turn it over to make sure there's no wrinkles. You got to be fragile with this because, you know, as you know, napkins are not real sturdy. Okay, I don't need that right now. This napkin has already had the other layers taken off. Sometimes I do that ahead of time so they're ready to use. And then the white layers that I take off, I use for either dyeing or stamping on. I like them dyed, like with the food coloring dyes. I don't know about you, but I have not been able to find regular food colors. Put it in the comments if you know of a place I can get regular food coloring. All the ones I have been able to find are gel. And at first I thought, well, maybe that's not a big deal, but I read the ingredients, and the first ingredients are sugar and corn syrup. Well, I don't want to put sugar and corn syrup on my paper. I just wanted coloring. So far, Easter egg dye is the only thing that I have found, unless I can find some good old-fashioned food coloring again. But not yet. Okay, that's very much this color, but it's going to be sticking off the edge. Okay, kind of eyeball how much is going over the edge so that I don't put on too much glue. If I don't get quite enough, I can come back with the art glitter glue. So I'm just going to stick this in the center like that. And I can go back and add anything I want through here or over this for some additional decoration. But now we have a belly band. So if you ever see these teaching cardstock, they're glossy. Like I said, they come with a wide border. I'm not sure. I think they're over on the other side here, but I just trim them down so they're not very much. So here's a belly band with the pumpkin. And here's a pocket where I've added a little bit of painted paper as well as some cardstock that's covered with digital and then added the leaf. And so on the page, you would have space to put your tickets in here. In the belly band, of course, you could put journal cards in there. So thank you for joining me. And we played with these supplies from the teacher store. We have all the ones I showed you, plus these two that we just made. And come back later. I'm going to be working on a gratitude fall harvesting theme journal, or of at least one, if not more, that I've been making this ephemera for. Thank you. Take care. Have a great day. Hope it's filled with love. This is Peggy from the Pearl Forest.